Lions on a bye. That means Justin Rogers joins us before he takes a break.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, we are here, everybody. Let's do this on a Wednesday edition of Locked On Lions, Locked On Podcast Network on an October 22nd Wednesday into Thursday, October 23rd. Thank you for making us your first listen, everybody. Checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. Locked On Lions today, brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Find us on our Locked On Lions YouTube channel. Again, wherever you get your podcasts. Lions, of course, off that big win Monday night. Now get a bye and some time to rest before the Vikings come to Ford Field next Sunday. Justin Rogers, our buddy from Detroit Football Network, and the brand new, the guy's got like 50 podcasts. It's down to one. The Lions Collective Pod joins us today. Follow Justin and subscribe, please, at DetroitFootball.net. I subscribe. I get the emails, and he's all over it. JR, great to see you.
It's good to see you as well. I think the perception is I do a lot of podcasts. In reality, I just do a lot of appearances. this being one.
No, that's not true. You had the podcast last year with Stoney.
Scrapped it.
It. Now you're on the Lions Collective. There's still a ticket feel on there with Will Birchfield. Colton Pouncey, our buddy, is fantastic on there, and
all-star crew.
Yeah, so it's a good group. But you're rested up. Well, what's the bye week plan for you?
I am not rested up. I'm on like 4 hours of sleep right now, man. I'm dragging, but it's funny. I probably should have a plan, but I don't. I'm still kind of piecing that together. Still got to get through the processing of the Tampa Bay game. So I've got tape study. I started that today. I'm through just the first half of the defense. So I've got, 3/4 of the game to go really. But, once I get beyond the film review, then I'll kind of process how the rest of the week will look, but probably not a ton of downtime, maybe a day or two in the weekend.
So the team heads into the bye at 5-2. That was a much needed win the other night. What was your take on it? And how do you feel about this team now 7 games in?
My take was Alim McNeill is a difference maker. As I mentioned, I just kind of got through the first half of the tape and he just was everywhere, and I know Campbell said 20 to 25 snaps. I think he might've played 20 to 25 snaps there in the first half and constantly pushing the pocket, constantly disruptive. And when you have interior pressure, which is the worst kind of pressure for a quarterback, it opens up everything else. I think the Lions are smartly using their linebackers to corral mobile quarterbacks. They're using the athleticism of Jack Campbell and Derek Barnes and, like a hybrid coverage drop spy roll. It's opening things up for Hutchinson. So I think that's going to make the defense a lot better. Offense is a little clunky right now. I think it's still figuring some things out. Obviously, you're always going to be able to do something when you have the Amon-Ra St. Browns and Jahmyr Gibbs of the world. You're going to score points. You're not going to get shut out. But, as I wrote about today in my column, I think they need a little bit of a refresh and a reset here on the bye just to find a way to get more of their weapons involved because they have so much talent. I think it's a really difficult challenge for an offensive coordinator to find and establish a rhythm with all those pieces. But I think there have just been too many dud performances for David Montgomery, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta. Like they have to find more ways to get consistency out of all those weapons instead of being so concentrated on the 2 stars.
All right, let's get it out of the way. Jameson Williams Instagram. And, could he have just been waiting to get on a plane and he was bored at 5 a.m. or what do you think that was all about?
I am not in the business of trying to translate
memes,
whether it's teenagers or Jameson Williams at young 20s. Like it could be anything. And so it could be a complaint about the offensive pass interference. It could be a complaint about his role in the offense. It could be he had to wait too long for his chili cheese fries at 4 a.m. on the McNichols Coney Island. Like I have no idea. And so I don't want to blindly speculate on Williams, I think he has proven time and time again to be the consummate teammate. He busts his ass every play, every snap, whether it's blocking, whether it's route running. He's never verbalized complaints. Every time you've ever asked him about goals, whether it's preseason, in season, of course he wants the ball, but the first thing he always goes to is winning. And so, I don't want to read too much into this without him saying something or even demonstrating some negative body language on the field.
When you look at what's on the field for him, obviously there was the offensive PI, the push off. So technically it goes down as no targets, even though that was a targeted play and he caught the football and all that, but then it was called back. But what do you think the biggest issue is you're watching the tape every week of just why he hasn't gotten involved? And also that they're not taking deep shots, whether it's JMO or not, they're not throwing the ball down the field at all right now.
Yeah, I think there's a concentrated effort, and we saw this, with Stafford and Calvin too, where teams were just flooding them with cover 2 and cover 3 shells that are designed that take that away. And Jameson Williams is not Calvin Johnson, right? You can't heave it up there and count on him to go up and over 2 defenders. Like his money skill is his speed, and that's just a little bit more dicey if defenses are playing on their heels. I think it's a little disappointing given the route tree development he displayed. And I thought you actually kind of saw some of it on the play where he was called for the OPI, questionable call. I mean, I get why they called it. There was full extension with the arms, but that snap back to the quarterback is a route that he's demonstrated that he showed more proficiency with that. I'm surprised they're not finding more ways to get the ball into his hands, whether it's crossers, comeback routes, slants, just different things that get him in space with the football, because every time he touches the ball, there's a chance that it goes to the house.
Justin Rogers with us, Detroit Football Network, DetroitFootball.net. Please subscribe. I do. I love getting the emails daily. Justin's got quick updates. He's got columns and obviously the write-ups right after the game. It was almost like a sigh of relief Monday night, because there were some, not you, not me, but others that were like, well, who have the Lions beaten? And 2 teams that they play that were decent were, KC and Green Bay, and they lost both those games. I thought their game plan, especially Kelvin Shepherd v. what Tampa did offensively, was superior. It was fun to see.
To go out there with that secondary group, and I have the utmost confidence in Amik Robertson, because Amik Robertson has the utmost confidence in Amik Robertson. I think Rocky Sin is a good player. I think he plays man coverage well. I think he actually is underrated in his ability to turn his hips and run with big receivers, with fast receivers. We saw it when he was with the Ravens, his ability to turn and run with JMO. That's the fastest they come. I thought he was all over Mike Evans on the play where Mike Evans was hurt. That was a very unfortunate play, but demonstrated what Yasin can do. And I think Arthur Mallett in the slot is a smart play when you need kind of a guy in a pinch. Get the 32-year-old that's played in 80 games, right? Like you can trust on him to do it. But the safety combination, Thomas Harper and Eric Hallett had played a combined 10 defensive snaps for the Lions this year.
Yeah.
At least Harper's got some experience in this league playing 15 games for the Raiders. That was Hallett's first defensive snaps in 3 seasons as an NFL player. And so to count on those 2 guys in a very communication heavy position, right? Like, and where is it hardest to communicate for a defensive player? It's at home. It's loud. I thought they navigated it really well. And I want to go back again. I've only seen the first half. I'm still working my way through, but there was a 3rd down snap. It was man coverage. Lions were in kind of that cover 2, maybe cover 1 rover shell. And Mullet got picked on a rub route, on a crossing route to Sterling Shepard. Hallett read it, rotated down, and took it away, leading to a sack. It was such an advanced play for a guy that doesn't see defensive snaps. And I talked to him during camp, like he was playing such an interesting role. He came in like this safety mix, then they were playing him at nickel, and they were playing him at outside. And he played at Pitt for Narduzzi, and the scheme there called for him to play kind of this hybrid nickel corner deep zone safety. So he kind of had all this variety of coverage experience, and he can do it all. And he's a smart player. And I think that showed up. A little undersized, got bullied a little bit on a few of those runs, but I mean, Shep really dialed up a really nice mix of zone and man coverage. Those guys executed really, really well in the back end. And I'm going to go back to McNeill. Like, McNeill was an absolute difference maker. Baker got moved off his spot all game. It led to errant throws. So even when he had an open crossing route, right, the throw was just a little bit behind the receiver, caused him to slow down, allowed the defenders to rally quickly, to limit the yak, to punch out the ball a couple times. Like, the execution was as excellent as the game plan.
Want to talk more with Justin about that defense and the job that Kelvin Shepherd has done and some other underrated factors from a Monday night. We'll do that coming up next. And Locked On Lions today brought to you by our friends at Game Time. NFL season, of course, is here. And honestly, nothing better than being in that stadium Monday night. I was there for Lions and Bucks, just being amongst the fans and cheering on the squad. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be a hassle. Between queues, login screens, and prices jumping at checkout, it gets frustrating. That's why I use Game Time, the app that gives the advantage back to the fans. Game Time is fast, easy, and backed by their Game Time guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all fees are included. So the price you see is the price you pay. There are no surprises. The zone deals, what are those? It's simple. Pick the section. Game Time will pick your seats, and you save big. Honestly, it's faster, cheaper, and less stressful than any other way that I bought tickets online. Download the Game Time app, create that account, use the code LOCKEDONNFL, and you get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, and go. Download Game Time today. Justin Rogers with us, Detroit Football Network, DFN, as he calls it. By the way, do you endorse the Legion of Whom, the new nickname for the secondary?
I would love to give props to who invented it. It's pretty damn good. I don't know if it's been utilized for other banged up secondaries around the league, but a very, very appropriate. You know, I'm not a fan of like the social media trend, like, oh, this guy's entered the game. Then you get like 50 memes of who. It's like, well, it's not my responsibility. Well, it is my responsibility to tell you about the team. I've told you about these guys. I'm sorry you didn't read it, but you know, I've written about Thomas Harper and Eric Hallett and Nick Whiteside. It's just, you know, if you're not familiar with all 53, like, it's on you to know, you know, not just the who thing is, it's rude, I guess. Like, these guys work hard. They're on the roster. Like, maybe learn about them.
I get it. It's obviously a playoff what the Seahawks had back in the day. But by the way, on Whiteside, how does that work? Is it Campbell and Holmes, maybe even as early as or as late as Monday, sitting down and going, all right, we've got Kendall Fuller and Trey Flowers on the practice squad. We could play two veteran guys, but they decided to go kids in that game. How do you think all that works in terms of who makes that call?
Yeah, I talked to Kendall Fuller late last week. I think it was Friday, it might have even been Saturday, and I just got the sense he wasn't physically ready. You know, he had not practiced since December. He knew he had some rust to knock off. You know, certainly if he would have got put in a situation where he had to play, you know, several long series in a row, I don't know if he felt ready for that. So it wasn't surprising to me that he wasn't elevated for this game. I was surprised that they went with Whiteside over Flowers. You know, I think Flowers has the track record. It goes back to what I said about Mullet earlier, right? Like, you trust the guy that's played a lot of football. But damn it if Whiteside didn't answer the bell, right? And in such a big way. And I look back at the one touchdown that the Bucs scored, the Tez Johnson little bubble screen there where he weaved through defenders. It was Whiteside that got picked off. I mean, that was Whiteside's man. What does he do? You tell these guys to have a short-term memory, correct? Like, that is the key mindset for a defensive back. He goes out the very next play, 2-point conversion, breaks up the pass. Late in the game, you know, 2 more breakups. He has a breakup down the sideline on a deep ball, and it's everything you want. It's actually everything we kind of saw from this kid in camp. Like, he's big, he's long, and he finds a way to disrupt the throw at the catch point regularly. And we were trying to figure out, is this a Nick Whiteside thing, or is this a Tim Patrick is washed thing? Like we couldn't fully get a grasp on it, but he did it in the practices against Miami as well. Sure, they're second string receivers, but to see him not make the roster, to not get that initial call for the practice squad, which has got to be disheartening with the camp that he had, and to come back and step in and play this role at Ford Field for his hometown team, to make all these plays, be part of this Legion of Whom, if you will, was a really good story coming out of that game.
By the way, you mentioned Amik Robertson earlier.
Yeah,
he's a free agent after this year, and there's a lot of we've had nauseum talked about these guys. You got to re-up, right? What about him?
Pay him. I don't care. I mean, and some of that's selfish. Like I love him. He has moved so far up my chart of favorite players I cover. He is constantly available. He's accountable. He's interesting. He's but beyond that, I mean, the most important thing here is he's a good damn player, like really good. And he always steps up no matter what they ask him to do. There's a reason he's not been a 8-year starter in this league. I mean, he's got some size deficiencies. He's maybe not the most athletic, but I mean, if you are an organization built on grit, this guy is the embodiment. He plays with this perpetual chip on his shoulder. He loves to say that he's the smallest guy in the field, but he plays like he thinks he's the biggest man, and he does. And it's really a joy to watch a player like that overcome whatever limitations they have, to play with that mindset and to execute repeatedly. Like he's leading this secondary right now. It's not he's just stepping in there filling a gap. Like he is the glue kind of holding this whole thing together, and it's just really impressive.
How is it? We're 17 minutes in, Justin Rogers, and we haven't mentioned Jahmyr Gibbs' name yet. I mean, my goodness, unbelievable, huh?
Kid's a stud. What more is there to say? And I think the Lions have done, for whatever criticisms people may want to levy to John Morton, I think they've done a really good job with finding ways to get Gibbs in space to utilize his rare speed. I mean, I didn't confirm this, but I heard somebody mention top 3 speeds for a running back, all Jahmyr Gibbs this year. Yeah. They've designed some nice counter motions and toss plays, and obviously I thought these sprint outs to the flat against a defense that struggles to cover backs out of the backfield were well designed. You get 3 of them yesterday, you get 80 yards out of it, right? Like that's good coaching, that's good scheming. To put your players in the best possible position. That's the name of the game. And, like I said, they might not be getting everybody involved the way that I think you'd like to see at this stage of the season, but they are certainly continuing to maximize Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about that. I don't know. You're not much of a conspiracy theorist, but obviously last week, everybody said, the officials, the refs were against the Lions, the Chiefs stuff. Then the NFL films video, which we don't need to rehash. But Monday night, they got a decent whistle at times. I know John Hussey took forever, and it seems like we were never leaving that building Monday night. But they did get some calls that went their way. Do you think there was a little, hey, we got even Steven, or is it just so happened they got it right a few times?
Nope, I do not think there was any payback. I don't think that exists. Maybe sometimes in the flow of a game where an official recognizes he made a bad call, he might call a holding or something the other way to correct it. But it's so damn hard. People don't realize how difficult it is to coordinate those things. There's 8 different officials on the field watching 8 different things. My opinion of officiating is it's human element. We have the benefit at home of 45 replays, slow motion, all these different angles. They're watching it live. It's a very difficult game to officiate, so they're inevitably going to get stuff wrong. They're going to miss the little tiny tug on Isaac Tesla's jersey when it's black glove on black jersey. That happens. It's easier for you to see on TV than it is for that ref whose body might be angled out by the way those guys are running past them. I would say the most important thing to me, and I like the where the league is moving with this, is get it right. Get it right as much as possible. And if that sometimes takes a minute and a half, 2-minute review, so be it. As long as it's not excessive all the time. But I think, you should want the call to be right more often than not. If it affects your team sometimes negatively, fine, but it was the right call. That's what you want to see. And so I just spend very little time thinking about officiating. It clearly has flaws. Those flaws are exposed more and more by the HD instant replay TV angles that we have. And I think it is on the coaching and the players to execute to overcome whatever flaws officiating may have in a given game.
Let's talk about the next opponent, Minnesota, and just the state of the division as well, and where the Lions sit here heading into the bye with Justin Rogers. We will do that next.
I'm Cody Rourke from Locked On Broncos, and this episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most advanced equipment yet, giving you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or you're cross-training with your favorite instructors like Alex Toussaint. It's training reimagined to make your workout more personal. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with features that help you plan, stay motivated, and hit peak performance. You can let yourself run, lift, flex, and go while Peloton handles all the rest. Plus, Peloton IQ provides real-time strength coaching, tracking your progress and suggesting weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. Plus, the new movement tracking camera, it counts your reps and corrects your form in real time, making sure every rep is safer and smarter. So let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
And we're brought to you also by our friends at FanDuel, everybody. NFL season is in full swing. FanDuel's got an offer you do not want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Best thing about FanDuel, you can bet anything. You can do parlays, player props. If you don't like any of the games, you just want to do the player stuff, you can do it. And follow the live lines during the games. It makes watching football even more exciting. You get a little something riding on the action. What are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Download the FanDuel app today to get started. Justin Rogers, Detroit Football Network with us, and also the Lions Collective podcast. Does a great job covering the team. Please subscribe to Justin's stuff. How's business, by the way, in terms of subscribers, and how's all that been going lately?
It's good. I have zero regrets about the decision. I think it was the right one for me. Audiences, it's overwhelming and tremendous support, I think is probably the best way to describe it. And I don't know about you with these things, I try not to obsessively look at the ticker. It's really easy to do, to watch the ebb and flow during a week, after a loss, after a win. I try not to watch that because it'll just drive you crazy.
Yes. Why did you leave the Detroit News? I'm just kidding. We did that show 2 years ago. No, your stuff's great. Yeah, seriously. All right, so the Vikings play tomorrow against the Chargers, and then the Lions will go and host Minnesota in a couple of weeks. Who knows who the quarterback will be come November the 2nd. Second or third? The second when the Vikings, come to town. But thoughts on what the Lions now, what shoots out for you in terms of the bye week, who needs rest, and then the upcoming opponent with Minnesota?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking to get as many of those pieces in the secondary back as possible, and clearly Brian Branch is going to be back. I would expect Kirby Joseph to benefit from the extra week off with his nagging knee injury. I think he'll be back. I think there's a good chance Terrion Arnold is back as well, given the fact that he popped his head into a practice last week. DJ Reed's probably a few weeks away, but you might also get Avonte Maddox back as well. So you're getting a topped up piece. That's a lot of reinforcements in the secondary. Not too sure who else might be in play there. Sione Vaki's got to be getting close. Just talking to him, it's a big bump for your special teams, which has been pretty good anyway. And we're looking to see if Malcolm Rodriguez's clock gets started. Linebacker isn't a massive need right now, but again, Rodriguez provides great depth defensively and is a great special teamer. The Vikings matchup is an interesting one. I think you're going to be glad that this is home coming out of the break. Minnesota it's one of my favorite places a reporter to cover a road game, but it's a tough place to play on the road. They are a pesky franchise. I think that's the best way to put it. I think they outplay their talent constantly. I think they're very, very well coached all the way around. The quarterback position is limiting them from being better, I think, this year, but they have a pretty solid ground game. Aaron Jones is inching closer to being back and makes a really nice 1-2 tandem with Jordan Mason. I think still their receiving weapons are among the best in the business. Jordan Addison looks phenomenal every time I look at him this year. And even Jalen Naylor as a number 3 receiver and really a number 4 option in that pass game is pretty damn good, as a vertical threat, as a crosser guy. So like they can really, really stretch you and stress you defensively. And then their defense, obviously Flores is going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at you, whether it's 8-man drops, 8-man pressures. You just never know what you're going to get. I think Jared Goff has been stellar at handling all that. He's obviously been very good against the blitz, maybe not so much this last week against Tampa Bay, but overall Goff has handled the Flores defense well. And so, I think it's a game that the Lions should win. They should be favored regardless of who Minnesota started at quarterback, but it's a team that just hangs around and hangs around and hangs around. And, if you leave any game close in the NFL, close in the fourth quarter, it's anybody's ball game.
Last thing, obviously Packers escape in Arizona. Jonathan Gannon handing Matt LaFleur some help there. And the Bears, oh my gosh, my friends in Chicago, they're getting ready to erect that statue for Ben Johnson already. My gosh, they've won 4 in a row. They don't know what to do with themselves.
It's a compelling divisional race, right? And I maybe we'd have to go back and check the tape. I certainly said it somewhere. Like it wouldn't surprise me if by the end of the season the Bears are a playoff contender. You benefit from the soft schedule, if you will, of a last place team. I think Ben Johnson's offense is good. They have really good offensive weapons. I had questions about DeAndre Swift, which he is answering in a pretty emphatic way. And I respect Dennis Allen as a defensive coordinator. They had defensive talent as well. So he walked into a good situation there. It got off to a very rocky start, including a whooping that the Lions laid on them, but they've won now 4 in a row. So that's a good franchise. Packers, I can't get a feel for. I wasn't gonna proclaim them as a 17-0 team after the Lions win, but you thought watching them kind of dismantle the Lions week 1 and then follow it up with another really strong game against a full strength Washington team at that time that that's a strong Super Bowl contender. They're a mess on the road. And, look, that's important. Like you have to be able to win road games in this league. If you can't, you're not going to get home field advantage in the playoffs. The Lions are certainly not going to concede the division anytime soon. So, unless the Packers can win the NFC North, I strongly question, their ability to make much noise beyond the wild card round of the postseason.
Great to see you, my friend. Keep up the great work. Love getting the emails, and obviously folks are also subscribing of my listeners and checking you out. All the best, my man, and enjoy your week off. I know there's something will happen. You'll be having to write, but have a great bye week.
Yeah, seems like a great time for an Aiden Hutchinson extension, right?
Where will you be? Will you be in the kitchen? Will you be with the kids? Yeah, that's right. It's
I don't know.
It's a Where's Waldo situation, that stuff.
Indeed.
But, JR, great to see you, brother.
Appreciate you having me.
Justin Rogers, Detroit Football Network, DetroitFootball.net. Check them out, as well as the Lions Collective Podcast, back with a Thursday edition tomorrow of Locked On Lions.